Hey, loves. I know I'm in the shadow. I'm not gonna worry about that because look what's behind me. Isn't that really much more important? Look at that ocean. I'm out here on the West Coast, so I've gone on the road. Oh, look, you're gonna see some surfers behind me too. Oh, you're getting lots of action right now. Um, I left, and I'm on the road. I think semi like for good for a while. And even though I knew that it was likely that this was coming, it just kind of happened all at once, it seemed, right? And so I left less than a week ago, and I'm out here on the coast and in the redwoods and by the Smith River, just getting my bearings before I really um, transition fully. Yeah, and that's really all I wanted to share with you. I don't have much time right now, and but I wanted to say thank you for being with me. I hope you stay with me while I'm on this journey. I'll be making videos, I'll be making them from the road, and I'll be making them in as many beautiful places as I can find to share with you. Let's see, the one thing that I could offer, well, first of all, what I would say is that part of why, there are many reasons why I'm doing this and why I've just lifted off of everything that all the roots in some ways that I have made in Ashland. It's so time. And sometimes you just know, right? So there's this way in which I don't know where I'm going exactly, and I don't know why all I'm doing it entirely, but I do know that I have to, I must. And that voice in me that keeps saying, go, go, leave here, go, Jumana, what has only increased in her volume. So I'm following that again. I've followed her many times throughout my life, but every single time it's it's a leap, right? Every single time it is asking me to follow her without knowing many things and to trust her. So this is in a way kind of unofficially named the Chasing Beauty Tour. This is the first ever Her Mystery School tour. I'm going to be doing a lot on the road in terms of ministry and praying and creating and all sorts of things. I can work from the road in my van. I am unofficially calling it the Chasing Beauty Tour because there's a deep need in me to refill the reservoir from pure elements and in beauty and insanity, as in sanity, in what is sane. I'm not finding that in humankind. Sorry, you guys. I see beauty, and I love your loving, and I love our loving, and I love many things that humanity can be and can serve, but um, for me, peace and clarity and all that everything right is only really coming to me when I'm in nature and when I'm really close to all the pure elements. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to chase beauty. I'm going to follow beauty. I am going to listen deeply to her and ask her what's true. Ask her what's next. Ask her what it is that I should be doing, offering, speaking, how I should be serving. And I'm going to proclaim her, right? It's um, one of the commands of being a guardian of the deep feminine is when you find her, you proclaim her, right? Bring her out of invisibility, bring her out of the unspoken and the unnamed and often unrecognized, and proclaim her. So that's what we'll be doing together. If you want to check in with me here on the videos still, there's something we do in her mystery school, which by the way, the window is getting close to closing for early registration for the school. It doesn't start until September 25th. So you've got a long time to register and check it out if you're feeling it. The 9-month cycle starts then. But early registration ends in the full moon in July. And with early registration is a gift of the Sacred Needs um, intensive kind of intensive course, I guess you call it, or intensive whatever, that I'm creating, looking at 13 sacred needs, their distortions and their truths, and how to meet them regardless of circumstance. So a lot of this is going to be about relational. Um, these are a lot of things that come up in relationship and in intimacy that are deeply tied to the soul and often lead us into desperation because we haven't fully recognized what we're working with and the ways in which creation actually does meet those needs, regardless of what the partners in front of us or the people in front of us are capable of or willing for in any given moment. Anyway, that's coming. But one of the things we do in the school, and what I do with these videos, the intention is to pull teachings and to pull from, like to draw from the deep feminine wisdom stream and offer it here. There's something that we work with. It's called, we work a lot with it in the month of Oracle. And it has to do with really developing the indwelling oracular presence, right? With an understanding that guidance, God, all of this, from a deep feminine perspective, is very much indwelling. It lives inside of us. It speaks in and as us, right? And it's not far. It's not out there. So I had a moment that I can share with you of receiving from that place. And, we develop it deeply in the mystery school, but it's also something that we are all doing instinctively or by accident a lot of the time. It's when we are no longer outsourcing our authority, no longer outsourcing guidance, and really have cultivated and developed what the languaging is to really fully hear that indwelling, oracular, as in knows way more than we know in our mind, presence. Here's what she told me when I was kind of praying on this. I was praying about this journey because I in a way, the question that was on my heart is like, how will I know you? This is a pilgrimage for me in a really significant way. It is a journey of remembrance for me. My son has just left home. He's 22. He's on his own now. I mean, this is a big time for me personally of remembering my own soul, even separate from my dharma, even separate from all that I do that is in alignment with my soul, right? Like remembering her, getting close to her, having the quietude enough to really hear her deeply. And so I was asking, how will I know you, Goddess? How will I know you out there? This world is really confusing, and I'm about to just launch into it. And there's, even in spiritual, so-called spiritual understandings, there's often this thing of like, oh, it's all God. I get that. I know where that comes from. I understand the state that comes from. But in my walking as a woman and as a mother and as someone who's devoted to be fully incarnate, it's very clear that there is a golden path and that she does have a voice and she does have guidance for me. And there are places where she is and where she is not the one that I serve. So I was asking in my heart, there's kind of this silent prayer that was something along the lines of, how will I know you? Truly, show me, how will I know you? Coming to this journey almost like a baby. I feel very blindfolded. Not alone and not without resource, but just like, oh, I see, I'm gonna be shown, literally, one step at a time, and then no more. Okay. It's going to be like that. All right, I can accept that. So then how will I know you? And here's what she said. She said very simply, I am what you love. I am not those other things. I am what you love. I am not those other things. And although I feel like that could be one of these things that are super irritating to me, all these like little memes that go around that are just that kind of help for a second, or that you recognize as wisdom but don't really fully embody. The difference with this was that it came from deep inside of me. So all that it means, and it's like the tip of an unfolding understanding inside my entire being. That's what an oracular indwelling presence is, right? Is It's when all of a sudden one of the many truths that we all kind of recognize are true actually comes from like the voice comes from inside, and you arrive at it and it's yours, you know. And that's what it felt like. It was like, oh, it's like in that moment I was being shown and given and aligned with this very simple thing, which is, Jumana, just follow truly what you love and nothing else. Because I'm not in any of those other things. There's a lot of those other things. There's a lot of those other things. So there are many doors closing in my life. No media, very little communication right now. There are a lot of things that I'm closing the door to in order to open the door to her and to open the door to that which I serve and that which I'm willing to live for and to thrive for in this life. So I am in what you love. And you know what I experience when I'm on the road, which is, it happened twice when the other two times I've been on the road, and it's happened ever since I got on the road now. It's like, oh, because this ocean, this earth, this beauty, I can love with total abandon. There's a way that I love it effortlessly. It was like this when I was up in the lake in Orcas. It was this listening to my heart. She was just like, I love you. In relationship to the lake, in relationship to the river, in relationship to all these pure elements. It's an unburdened, untamed and full, just even the remembrance that I can love like that. Just with complete devotion, no complication, no confusion, and no effort, you know. That for me is what she means. And when I think about that, you know, because obviously I'm interacting with people, and it's been funny because my capacity for judgment is kind of unlimited. You know, I've been getting to watch that, like just the stupid things that I will immediately judge people on. Like, and the ridiculous, it's like the stories, the assumptions. I mean, we all do it. I don't know how conscious you are of doing it, but I'm very aware of doing it and or having that move through me. And so it's been a practice of then really reaching out and connecting and opening conversation and with all sorts of people who are very different from me, and often whom I have some kind of sliver of an immediate judgment on. And it's been so awesome to just have that annihilated in me, and to know that, for instance, what I love is the magic that's out here, and the amount of ways in which, like, as soon as I gesture towards the magic with people who are on this earth with me or close to it with me, we're together. We both love this. This morning it was the couple who saw the elk, and you know, there's this way in which we are joining in what I actually really believe in and what I actually do really love. And it's reaffirming my faith in humanity, or at least my willingness to be a part of humanity. And I'm appreciating that very much, right? So I'm gonna stay close to what I love and not those other things, whatever they are. And yeah, I look forward to sharing some of this journey time with you, and I hope this has fed you. Just watching, I can see it in the video. Look at the ocean. Look at her. She's so beautiful, especially today, so blue. Anyway, you guys, I'm on the road, apparently for good. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to be on the journey with me if that so inspires you. And my intention is to anchor underneath of all the politics and all the panic and all the proselytizing, to anchor deep, to stay there, to follow that path, and to share it with you. Blessed be.